was there on one of my mission assignments, I observed an 8 to 9 foot tall entity. I will not call it an alien because I can't prove that. But 8 to 9 foot tall anything inside the space shuttle that was built for only people 6 foot or under is something to question. I did see an alien craft hovering behind the space shuttle, OMS pods. That's the area of their main engines in the rear.
You're there on the secret base doing radar tests on these advanced craft. Now, did you get visual contact with the craft enough so you could see what they looked like? And can you describe them for us here?
When the test was over, we were told to go out and wait on the deck. And of course, the saucers were still in the sky. So we're looking up and we're seeing these, flying saucers. And my attention was kind of riveted on the one that was closest. So I wanted to really see the detail and kind of put it in my memory because it was remarkable what I was seeing. It was also terrifying.
Sure.
Because of the classification that I felt what I was seeing must have. And I had a secret clearance. So it was terrifying for me to see that and realize that my clearance wasn't nearly high enough for me to be seeing that. We were put on a bus. We were taken to what I believe was either Area 51 or an underground base at the Tonopah compound up there on the test site. And there was a security guard there with a sidearm, and he was standing at parade rest, and I was told to lay down on a stainless steel examining table, fully clothed. And then someone finally came in after a few minutes. I'm laying there terrified, so everything seems like it's taking forever. And when he got up beside the right side of my head, he injected me in the side of the neck with a needle. And purple went to the brain, and it was like being put immediately into shock. And then when I was starting to recover a little bit and was laying exhausted on the floor, I was drugged out of there, and that's when I was sexually assaulted by 2 security guards. This level of abuse seems unbelievable and unbelievably horrific. But you have to really understand about trauma-based mind control to really wrap your head around what's going on here. Mm-hmm. So anyway, with me, they took me down into one of the hangars, and they gave me a suit of very shapeless-looking silver clothes, and they said, put this on. And I didn't know how it was going to go on, but once I put it on, it actually vacuumed itself onto my body and was very form-fitting. And then the craft actually took us to the moon. And I know that's pretty hard for people to believe, and I just say, don't believe it. If you don't want to believe it, don't believe it. It's perfectly fine with me if you don't believe what I'm telling you, because I know how fantastic it sounds. It was pretty strange because we're brought up with a lot of ideas about the moon on this planet, that it's a big dead rock in space, covered with rocks and moon dust, mountains and craters, and there's not really much color there. Really strange. You had to bring your mind up to speed real quick with the reality versus what we've been taught our whole life. And the thing that really bothered me, or I was really curious about, was the fact that when I got off the craft, when I was marched over to a building, I was told just look straight ahead and walk straight to that building. But I'm thinking, I'm on the moon and I'm breathing and I'm looking up with my eyes, not turning my head because I didn't want to get whacked or whatever they do. And that was the thing that was the biggest question for me, was what is really going on here? How can I be on the moon and be breathing?
Then some of the things that we've heard about with them planning to use aliens as an excuse to build up the military further.
But, I'm not sure that they're building up the military to protect us from bad ETs. I think they're building up the military to keep good ETs from wrecking their parade. What I'm starting to research now is I'm trying to understand why there's been such a proliferation of narcissism at the top levels of our government, of corporations, any hierarchical structure that we have on the planet. It just seems like these people, they're like scum that rise to the top. And then once they're up there, it's about me, 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 me. I don't really care about anybody else. Everybody else is just here to serve my needs. And they basically use the human population to no good end, whether it's government or whatever. There's only one war going on this planet, and it's a war against consciousness expansion. And they are doing anything and everything they can to keep consciousness from awakening in humanity on this planet. And so we need to ask ourselves why. If we ever awaken collectively to who we really are and what we really are as spiritual beings having a human experience, then we could really take control of what's happening on this earth and turn it completely around through the power of consciousness. And I think that's why they're attacking us with chemtrails. They're attacking the human brain in general and the pineal gland in specific. The pineal gland is our gland of enlightenment. It's the actual point in the human brain where our soul connects with the body. And so if we ever truly awaken at that part of our anatomy, it's pretty much game over for these people that are running their scams and trying to divide and conquer us by getting us to fight with each other all the time. I think it really is a question that bears looking at, is why are the powers that be on this world doing everything they possibly can, almost with a sense of desperation, to keep humanity from collectively awakening their consciousness? And I really think that's why, because once we realize that the power of consciousness lies with us and not with them, we can really change how things are done on this planet.